Hi there, my celestial friends. We're continuing on with the Ultimate Guide series of making each of the signs fall in love with you. And obviously, I would never advocate changing yourself in any way, but in dating, we do want to play up our best aspects and also the aspects most in line with that harmonious energy. Like some signs, you're going to want to play it cool, some signs you really want to flatter their ego, etc. So kind of knowing and understanding their sun sign can kind of help you lead with your best foot forward if you're really, really invested in the person. So you, my friend, have fallen for a bull, and that is why you are here. And so let's talk about Taurus men. So Taurus men are the manifestors of the zodiac, as in they're very patient and they really know what they want. So they're content with waiting for it. And then once they see it, they grab it and they get it. So what that means is Taurus men will typically see you before you see them. And this has been my experience with every single Taurus man that I've encountered, is that they always see me like kind of a little more like, hey, because they've already decided you are what I want, you are what I've been looking for, that you've been at the ideal. They're builders, so they're looking for someone to build with. They want to create and design these beautiful lives, and they get these ideas of the kind of person that would best complement that or accentuate that. So knowing that, there's not a whole lot that you can do to sway a Taurus. They are very stubborn and they're fine with waiting. They're focused on other things. They're the builders. They're very tapped into resources. They really want to accumulate a lot of material wealth in this lifetime. So you're not going to necessarily sway them if they don't inherently want you. They know what they want and they will snatch it when they get it. What I would say lead with, or the qualities that you should embrace, is definitely tap into your Venusian side. So they are ruled by Venus, and this is the sign of like beauty and love and sensuality. Embrace that. They're very sensual. They're very sensual beings. The way to Taurus man's heart is through his stomach. So perhaps plan a date where he comes over and you make a big spread of delicious food with different textures and tastes, and make it a whole sensual experience. Take a long time to eat. Make sure you have the right kind of, not right kind of wine, but like a nice wine if you know about wine, or maybe some sort of craft beer, something that shows that you like did research and maybe have like a refined palate. That'll really impress them and make it a long affair, dinner and conversation. Make it a whole event. So they very much live their life through their senses. So all of their senses. So as I mentioned, taste is a big thing. Scent can be another. Maybe just like dabbing vanilla essential oil here and find your knees. That's like a natural aphrodisiac, or sandalwood, or anything like that. Like really earthy, sensual scents they will be drawn to. Silk sheets, they're very into touch. Make everything with them a long, languid affair. Don't rush things. They're very slow and they're very steady, and they hate to be rushed. So they'll design their life so they don't have to rush. So make sure to dedicate a lot of time to them. And as I mentioned, very, very sensual, very slow, very stubborn. You maybe want to wear fabrics that are pleasant to the touch, like silk, things that they want to pet. They very much are sense-driven. They're also looking to build things, and as I mentioned, accumulate a lot of material wealth. And Taurus men do design beautiful lives for themselves because they accumulate the finances to fund their romantic kind of sense of aesthetics. So they tend to be very into like art and have the means to purchase art, or be really into music. They take life and they break it down by the senses. They do rule resources of all kinds, and they have this habit of thinking that the people that they are dating are possessions. They tend to think that people are possessions. And so if something threatens it, they can get a little off the wire and a little manipulative. So it's something to look out for. They don't mean to. It's just the second house of the zodiac, like each sign as it goes on, it learns something new. So Taurus in this lifetime is tapping into resources, things that they own, their value system, etc., etc., and people kind of tie into that. So they very much consider the person they're dating as something that they own. So they might get a little jealous, or a lot jealous. For example, like look at Taurus man, Chris Brown. He's like nutso. Like his last girlfriend filed a restraining order, and clearly he resorted to physical violence when he didn't get his way. So definitely something to look out for. Not all Taurus men are like that, and I'm not trying to put that in your mind. But if they are getting controlling or manipulative in any way, definitely look out for that and don't stand for it. Because once you allow it, you just allow it to keep happening over and over. And they can get demanding with your time. They can get very selfish. So if it's like they're working on something and you reach out to them, they might not respond. But if you're ignoring them or not reaching out to them, they might repeatedly reach out to you. Ties back to people with possessions. They just kind of want someone there that they can go to when they need it, and not necessarily reverse. So knowing this information about Taurus men, you kind of know the signs that lead up. Like, talk about art. Make sure to talk about what they're building, their business, or whatever else. Bring up fine wines. Bring up food. Bring up music. Go on nice dates with them. Just definitely tap into your sensual Venusian side. They are, since Venus is there, they tend to be more aesthetic driven, so maybe on dates spend like a little bit longer than you would if you were going to dinner with a Virgo or whatever else, someone who's not as aesthetic driven. You know, they're Venusian. And yeah, so my friends, have a wonderful cosmic week. Best of luck in your Taurus men pursuit.